Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into something that affects every single one of us, confidence. Have you ever found yourself holding back, not speaking up, or feeling like you don't belong? Maybe it's in social situations, at work, in dating, or even just stepping outside your comfort zone. The truth is, confidence is one of the most powerful skills you can develop, and it can completely change your life. But the big question is, how do you build confidence when you don't feel it naturally? Is it something you're just born with, or can it be developed? The answer is yes. You can absolutely build confidence. And today, we're going to break down exactly how to do that. Now, before we go any further, I just want to put out a quick disclaimer. Confidence is not about being perfect or pretending to be someone you're not. It's not about being the loudest person in the room or forcing yourself into uncomfortable situations just for the sake of it. True confidence comes from self-acceptance, from knowing your worth, and from trusting yourself even when things don't go perfectly. So, if you've ever struggled with self-doubt or felt like you weren't good enough, you're not alone. But I promise, by the end of this video, you'll have practical steps to start building real, lasting confidence in any situation. All right, let's get into it. What actually makes someone confident? A lot of people assume that confidence means you never feel nervous or insecure, but that's not true. Even the most confident people have doubts sometimes. The difference is that they don't let those doubts control them. Think about someone you admire for their confidence. Maybe it's a leader, an athlete, a musician, or even just a friend who seems completely comfortable in their own skin. I guarantee you, at some point in their life, they struggled with self-doubt, but they learned to push through it. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. The first major factor that affects confidence is mindset. Your thoughts have way more power than you realize. If you're constantly telling yourself, "I'm not good enough, I'll never succeed," or "people are judging me," then, of course, you're going to feel insecure. Your brain believes what you tell it over time. But here's the good news. Just like you can train your body through exercise, you can train your brain to be more confident by changing the way you think. Instead of letting negative self-talk take over, start challenging it. When you hear that inner voice saying you're going to fail, replace it with, "I'm going to do my best, and even if I make mistakes, I'll learn from them." When you catch yourself thinking, "I'm not good enough," remind yourself of the things you've accomplished, the challenges you've overcome, and the qualities that make you unique. Another huge factor in confidence is body language. Studies have shown that the way you carry yourself actually affects the way you feel. If you walk around slouching, avoiding eye contact, and making yourself small, your brain interprets that as insecurity. But if you stand tall, keep your shoulders back, and make eye contact, you start to feel more powerful. A great trick to boost confidence instantly is power posing, standing with your feet apart, your hands on your hips, and your chest open. Research has shown that this increases testosterone, which is linked to confidence, and decreases cortisol, which is linked to stress. It sounds simple, but it works. Before you walk into a big meeting, an interview, a social event, whatever it is, try standing in a power pose for a couple of minutes. You'll be surprised at how much of a difference it makes. Now let's talk about preparation. A lot of times, we feel insecure simply because we don't feel ready. Think about a time when you were nervous before a big event, maybe a test, a presentation, or even a first date. If you weren't prepared, you probably felt a lot more anxious. But when you take the time to prepare, your confidence naturally increases. If you have a big speech coming up, practice it over and over until you feel comfortable. If you're nervous about a social situation, think of a few topics in advance to talk about. If you're going into an interview, research the company, practice your answers, and have a plan. The more prepared you are, the more confident you'll feel. Another big one, stepping outside your comfort zone. Confidence doesn't grow from staying in the same place. It grows when you push yourself, even just a little bit, beyond what you're used to. Start with small steps. If speaking up in meetings makes you nervous, challenge yourself to say just one thing. If approaching new people feels intimidating, practice making small talk with a cashier or a coworker. The more you put yourself in slightly uncomfortable situations, the more comfortable they become. And over time, you'll look back and realize how far you've come. Let's talk about failure. A lot of people think that confident people never fail, but that couldn't be further from the truth. Every successful person you admire has failed at some point. The difference is that they don't see failure as a reflection of their worth. Instead of saying, I failed, so I'm not good enough, they say, I failed, so I learned something. Confidence isn't about never making mistakes. It's about trusting that even if things don't go perfectly, you'll be okay. So don't be afraid to fail. The only real failure is not trying at all. Another thing that can make a huge difference in your confidence is the people you surround yourself with. If you're constantly around people who put you down, make you feel small, or doubt your abilities, it's going to be really hard to feel confident. But if you spend time with people who uplift you, encourage you, and remind you of your strengths, your confidence will grow naturally. Choose your environment carefully, and just as importantly, be that person for yourself. Talk to yourself the way you would talk to a friend. Celebrate your progress, even if it's small. Remind yourself that confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about believing that you're enough as you are. One last thing. Confidence comes from knowing your worth. Too often, we focus on what we lack instead of what we have. Take a moment to think about your strengths. What are you good at? What have you overcome? What makes you unique? Write it down if you need to. The more you focus on what you bring to the table, the more confident you'll feel. At the end of the day, confidence is a journey, not a destination. Some days, you'll feel unstoppable, and other days, you'll struggle with self-doubt. That's completely normal. The key is to keep going, keep pushing, and keep believing in yourself. The more you practice confidence, the more natural it becomes. So let's make this interactive. I want to hear from you. What's one situation where you wish you had more confidence? Let me know in the comments. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need a confidence boost. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.